All right. Welcome to episode 11 of The Locker Room. I'm Jalen Banks, joined with my longtime friend and co-host, Kijana Caldwell. We're two former high school teammates who went on and played collegiate football, who now just love talking all things sports. My dog, what's up?
Talking ball. We back at it, man.
Yeah.
No, but look, I'm telling you, we've always been talking about this high school football stuff for me. It is ramping up. First game is next week. We got a scrimmage on Friday. Them boys are ready. We're getting after it. My JV boys are getting hot.
We're not even 10 years removed from playing high school football. So how does it feel to like coaching high school football?
I told them boys, look, I told them one time, I said, if I get one more kid that call me Unc, you might go through the wall. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Look, I was like, I ain't up, bro, but I might be big bro, but you still don't listen to me.
Like come on now. Unc is insane. Like we're
but no, it's cool though. Like them boys love it. I think they enjoy having like a younger coach on staff, so they're like a little bit more. They can connect to him, joke around a little bit.
Are you the youngest coach on staff?
Me and the other guy probably like I think graduated like the same year, so just around the same age, 26, 27, and then I think there's a guy that's like 29, 30, and then so far and so forth up the age range. Yeah, one of the younger coaches for sure. If not the youngest, one of the youngest.
All right.
But it's been good.
Well, we're basically in football season now. So much news.
Man, we've been in football season since whatever the day was. What was the league date?
Yeah, like April, whatever
it was.
To be completely honest, I really haven't stopped being in football season because I watch the UFL. So I know not everybody does, but yeah, I watch the UFL. But let's go ahead and really get rolling here. We're just going to go over all things training camp. And the preseason's ramped up now. Preseason week 1 and 2 underway. This past weekend, we had, our rookie quarterbacks making their debuts. We can just go ahead and start with the game that everybody talked about over the weekend. Shedeur Sanders,
Hey, he was... Yeah.
Came out and performed. He finished with 130 yards, completed just over 60% of his passes, 2 TDs. You went back and watched it. I mean, what were your thoughts just watching his debut?
Just clean. Like, it was very, you had a couple bad sacks here and there, but you're a rookie playing your first game and under the lights, under the stage. I know he's been there, but he ain't been there yet. Like, he's had experience, has been on the spotlight, but to do it on a big stage, I understand you're not playing the best defenses and everything like that, but you did what you were supposed to do with your opportunity. So yeah. I think he lived up to his stage and the expectations that they had for him to start that game, and he excelled. He did what he needed to do, and I think for me it was expected. Like I knew he was going to go out and do some of those things. I think people were kind of pushing him to the side a little bit because he did drop to the fifth round, sixth round, whatever it was, fifth round, and I think they just like, oh, he's a fifth round. No, he's been there. He's done that.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't expect him to play bad. I didn't expect him to play as well as he did. Not because I don't think he has the talent, but up until that point, he hadn't gone with the ones. There was reports of him like kind of struggling to pick up the playbook. So the fact that he had to start so short notice, I thought like that kind of gave me some concern. But I think he definitely kind of dispelled a lot of the narratives about him. He didn't look like a 5th round draft pick. Like he looked as if he was day 1, day 2 pick out there, which many of us felt as if he was deserving of that. I didn't necessarily feel as if he was worthy of a 1st round pick, but him falling to the 5th, I would have never guessed in my wildest dreams that would have happened. I thought he looked good. I mean, you had mentioned some of the sacks. There was just like a couple plays here and there. Like there was one time where he didn't take a sack, but he scrambled, eventually ended up like throwing the ball away. It's just like, hey, you don't have to scramble back 20 yards. Like just throw it out. There was one throw in particular early on when they had punted. I want to say it was their second drive where he's rolling to his left. He ends up getting hit and kind of sailed it over the receiver. Early on, you can tell that he was kind of aiming and not really following through on his throws, and they were sailing a little bit. But once he got comfortable, he didn't really miss a throw from then on. There were times where the defense played well, but he didn't miss a throw. There was also like 2 plays in particular. They ran it a couple times where they would send the back like in an orbit motion, and it's just like a numbers game at that point. It's a box count, but you're really reading the mic. If the mic would flow with the back, you throw the backside slant. if the mic stays, you throw to the back. Both times he threw the slant where I felt as if he could have threw it to the back. Because one of the times the mic just idled, like just played in between, take the numbers as opposed to trying to force a slant. But other than that, I thought he played well, and he should be starting this week. I think Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel are still out.
Yep, I know he had a small oblique injury, but I mean, I think they just kind of set him out today so he can and be ready to start. So we'll see how that goes. Nothing like major, and they haven't came out and said anything huge, but he didn't practice in the most recent practice. No, he didn't do any team periods in the most recent practice, but we shall see if he starts the next game. But hey, I think it was perfect timing, though. Like, word to him, it was perfect timing for him to come out there and do what he had to do. But look, we talked about Shedeur Sanders, but I think he's under talked about right now, so I want to get to him next. Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick. I mean, I think he's day one starter. Like, you come out, and I think it was good for him to get a couple reps under his belt. He felt comfortable in the pocket, like he was in college. He gets back there. He's got a good pocket, sitting back there waiting, delivering passes down the field. I think one was to Calvin Ridley in the preseason. But like I said, I feel like he's got a gist of who he is as a quarterback and what he's capable of and what he can run. And he just feels really comfortable when he plays the game of football.
Yeah, with Cam, the main thing, like the stats don't necessarily show like how well he played. Like there were times where he put the ball where it needed it to be. The catch just wasn't completed, but he did what he was supposed to do. The talent is on full display. Like the ball just jumps out of his hand. And I mean, this has been on display when he was in college, but I don't think people like the casual fan really understands just how talented Cam Ward is. Do I think they have an opportunity to make the postseason? Not really. I think they would need quite a few like injury breaks in order for that to happen. But just off his talent alone, I could see the Titans going from like 3 wins to like 7 or 8. But yeah, I mean, a small sample size. I wish they would let rookies I really would like all teams to just let their rookies play more. I understand you run the risk of injury the longer somebody's out there. But Shedeur got 3 quarters. Cam's your number 1 overall pick who's going to be your starter. Like, why not just, if you need to take out Calvin, so be it. You need to take out Tony Pollard and Chig, so be it. But just let him go out there and play. Like, just let him get those reps, And I understand he's getting them in practice, but it's still hard to simulate everything that goes on in the game in practice. But, yeah, talent on full display. I'm excited to watch him and see him really develop that chemistry with Calvin Ridley.
Yep. And then, look, got to stay on that quarterback trend. This is a big quarterback class. And before I get into the next quarterback, I just want to say there's a lot of reports that came out this year that this quarterback class was this quarterback class was that. They're not good enough. You know what this quarterback class had? A lot of time on the field, lots of reps, lots of games played. They have a lot of games under their belt. They might not be the biggest talent-wise that you've seen in a class, but they've played football. So going into that, my saying, Jackson Dart, next guy.
Real quick, we had talked about this on the pod before where over the last 20, 25 years, pretty much every quarterback that's won a Super Bowl was at least a 2.5-year starter in college. There's only I want to say 2 that didn't have 22 starts, 22 and a half starts underneath their belt in college that ended up going on to win. But to your point, Jackson Dart, 3.5-year starter in college, 3 years at Ole Miss, half a season at USC. Cam Ward, 2 seasons at Washington State, 1 at Miami, 2 at Incarnate Word. Shedeur, 2 at Colorado, 2 at Jackson State. One of the other quarterbacks we'll get to was a 2-year starter. But yeah, tons of reps. And I think, to your point, I think last year's class was just so great that it undermined what this class was. I truly believe all those quarterbacks taken in the first round last year are going to have long careers.
For sure.
The only one we're waiting on is J.J. McCarthy, but the situation he's in, I have a hard time believing he's not going to be successful. Do I think he's going to be as good as the first 2 that were taken? No. Do I think he's going to be as good as Bo Nix? No. Michael Penix, maybe, but I think he'll be in the league for a while. But we'll go ahead and get to Jackson. We discussed this on the pod off air in our group chats. Jackson Dart was my QB1 for this class, and I felt as if it really showed. He was able to play more than Cam was, but it really showed in their game against the Buffalo Bills. He just looked super comfortable. It was just really smooth. For me, I don't necessarily know if I have a comp for him, but one of the things that I really enjoyed seeing outside of like his passing prowess is his legs were on full
Mm-hmm.
display. This is the guy that was a legitimate running threat in the SEC, so I didn't question whether or not he'd be able to translate to the NFL. But they were calling runs for him, and he had some scrambles.
I
But
mean,
he had
they
one of the.
we had
Go ahead.
said he's one of the most. I think he was like. I know coming out, it was like the top two quarterbacks that people were saying were Shador and Cam. We had talked
Mm-hmm.
about it that we believe Jackson Dart was more athletic
Mm-hmm.
than both Shador and Cam Ward, which was
Yeah,
like crazy. But he proved that to be. I mean, not saying the other two can't run because I think they can.
yeah.
They're not. They're not unathletic or whatever. But I just think Jackson Dart is very versatile in that aspect. So
His first year at Ole Miss in 2022, he rushed for like 600 or 700 yards in the SEC. You don't do that if you're unathletic or if you can't move. But Jackson, he looked really good. The fade ball that he threw, he audibled that. So it's good to see that he's already seeing the defense. He's already comfortable within the offense. The Giants, and I'm sure we'll get to predictions here in the coming weeks. That's really like I'm gonna just say now that's my sleeper team because I think they have really good pieces offensively with Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton. I think Cam Scatterboo is going to be a great like mid round pick for them when it's all said and done. And then their defensive line we've talked at length about, but Jackson looked really good and he was just accurate. He was poised and he shot off his legs a little bit. Whether they go with Russell or him, I think the Giants are going to be a tough out for a lot of people.
I mean, they're gonna start Russell to start the year off. It's just I feel like I don't think it's a question right now that if they're gonna start Russell. It's just if they're gonna finish
Yeah,
with
no,
Russell.
no, that's what I'm saying. I just feel for the Giants, they're going to be fine regardless of who they start between the two.
Oh, gotcha.
Their schedule just is tough, but as we all know, defense is the greatest equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
We saw, and I'm not saying their defense is going to be to this level, but in 2015, the Broncos won the Super Bowl. That season, Peyton Manning threw 17 interceptions and only 9 TDs, but their defense was just so spectacular. It didn't matter. The Giants with Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Alexander, the third round pick out of Toledo. Like if teams can't run or throw the ball, the quarterback just has to do his job. Just hey, get the ball to Malik and we'll rock out. A couple other QBs. Another guy that I spoke about at length, Tyler Shuck, second round draft pick out of Louisville. He's another guy. A lot of time in college. Started his career at Oregon. Was 1 year started at Oregon. Then he transferred to Texas Tech. He was at Texas Tech for 3 seasons. He had 3 straight years where he had a season-ending injury. He snapped his ankle. He like shattered his collarbone. His final year of eligibility, he transfers to Louisville, gets Louisville ranked, gets drafted in the second round by the Saints. And one of the things that I will say, it looks like they want him to be the starter. I know that Spencer like played early, like he started the game, but in terms of what they were calling for him, like they dialed up like that double move goal ball for him. He had a lot of plays where they had him on the move and just in general. Other than he threw a pick six early, but he led 3 scoring drives and not to the extent of Cam, but the ball just jumps out of his hand. And I feel as if, and I had a discussion with one of my friends about this. I understand that it's important to look at production, but the NFL, especially today's NFL, to have traits at every position is so vital. His traits mimic more of the top guys than they don't, like the way the ball comes out of his hand. And so I think the Saints with Kellen Moore, who I enjoy as a play caller, the team isn't necessarily the greatest right now, but I think his traits could potentially lead him to being a starter for them and potentially long term, just like in the league.
And that's gonna be the thing because their team is not the greatest. It's kind of one of those like the Bears did. It's like if they are a bottom of the barrel team and end up somehow getting the first pick next year,
Mm-hmm.
they're in a scenario where like, do you take another quarterback? It just depends on how well he plays, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
this year if he gets the opportunity to start, other than Spencer Rattler. So I mean, it's a interesting scenario for the Saints losing Derek Carr because you figured at the beginning of the year that Derek Carr would be the starter.
Mm-hmm.
So just losing those guys that have either retired or are out for the season or something like that. But it's gonna be interesting over there in New Orleans to
Yeah,
see
he
how they.
he's going to be their starter. Like I don't have.
You don't
any
think
doubts
Rattler got
about
it, none? You don't think Rattler can do it?
Rattler. Spencer Rattler has till week 5. Like I think that's the length of it. And I like Spencer Rattler. Like I'm not trying to knock him. I just think when it's all said and done, how other than the pick 6, if Tyler can more oftentimes than not play like he did in that preseason game during the season, he gives you the best chance to win. And he's just simply more gifted as an individual. So in terms of what you can do with your offense, you can do more with him than you can with Spencer Rattler.
Yep.
But
let's talk about one more quarterback before we get into these other players. My man Jalen Milroe.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of guys, I think a lot of people underestimate his talent just in general. I don't think he's the most polished quarterback, but him as a football player is elite.
Mm-hmm.
Elite. So if he can develop like timing and consistency, delivering the ball, throwing the ball, being under center, being a true quarterback in the NFL, I think he can be in the league for quite some time too. Like I said, I'm not sure if he's going to be starting anytime soon, but I think he can have a long career if he can get those things under his belt, because he's undoubtedly one of the best athletes in the NFL currently. And just being honest, I think he's one of the best athletes.
Yeah, at the position for sure. Similar to what we were just talking about with Cam, with Tyler, like traits at the position, at every position. When you saw him run against the Raiders the other night, it looked different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's only a couple guys at the position that's moving like him. You've got, obviously, Lamar. You've got Kyler. You've got Justin. You could throw Malik Willis in there. Like, Josh Allen can move, but he's not moving like them.
Maybe Jaden Daniels, but other than that, I mean...
Yeah, Jaden can move as well. But, yeah, Jalen Milroe. And he had some good throws, like his run in the side. Like, there were times where 1, 2, 3, ball out.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, hitch, ball out. I'll never forget watching his game against Georgia early on in the season last year. When he was playing in rhythm, he was unstoppable. When Jalen Milroe was in a rhythm, he is the best. Like at college football, at least, he was the best player on the field. It was just at that time, Bama was going through offensive coordinator changes, head coaching changes. They didn't have nearly the receiver room they once had in years past. But I would have loved to have seen Jalen Milroe in Bama's heyday when they had the luxury of Devontae Smith,
Jerry Judy's of the world,
Jerry Judy,
the Jalen Waddles of the world,
Jalen Waddle, Henry Ruggs, Jamison Williams, John Mechie. You know what I mean? Like when Irv Smith Jr., like what they had NFL guys everywhere. The best receiver he had in 2023 was Jermaine Burton, who I think is going to have a better second year. But Jermaine Burton probably doesn't play on those Bama teams with the guys that we just mentioned. And he was their best receiver in 2023. But yeah, Jalen looked good. He's in a somewhat of a tough situation because Sam Darnold just signed his deal in Seattle. And I think Sam is a legitimate NFL starter. But one of the things that he does have going for him is his head coach, Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald was the defense coordinator from the Ravens. And Mike Macdonald has talked about the difficulty as a team having to defend a quarterback who can move that way because he saw it firsthand coaching Lamar. Everybody has to now play defense, especially in the run game. You have, when the quarterback can run in the run game, you now have to count for all 11 players. And I could very well see him being like, you know what? This guy resembles that guy over in Baltimore. We're going to go this way. Because Sam's deal.
We're gonna attempt it.
Yeah, you attempt it. Sam's deal, because I'm not saying he's Lamar Jackson. You won't catch me saying that, but he has Lamar-like traits. Yeah, Lamar-esque, because Sam Darnold's deal really 2 years, and sometimes we see teams say, you know what, we'll bite the bullet, we'll move forward with the young guy. But yeah, any other rookie debuts that you had seen that stood out to you?
I don't know if it's a debut, but one thing I noticed I'm going to preach his name every time. Jaden Higgins is listed as a day one starter for the Houston Texans at receiver. I think he is going to bring, like I said, a dynamic passing game over to the Texans. With Tank Dell being out, the wide receiver trio in Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, and Jaden Higgins is going to be very good, and I think he'll shine. I'm not saying he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver with those kind of weapons he's got around him, but he can very much be 4 or 5 touchdowns, 600 yards as a rookie in the second round. So, I mean, I think it'd be a solid player for Houston going forward. So,
yeah, For me, a little bit of a homer pick, but Ty Felton, 5th round draft pick, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver out of Maryland. He can move. He had a couple catches in the preseason game, and I think he's got an opportunity to really get a lot of snaps with Jordan Addison being suspended the first 3 games. You've got Justin, you've got Jordan, and after that, I think there's snaps to be taken. I mean, Jalen Naylor is a good player, but I don't see why Ty Felton couldn't get on the field. And we also don't know the status of Justin Jefferson and his hamstring injury. He hasn't practiced since like practice 2 or 3 of training camp. So he may have to play early and play often if Minnesota's top 2 receivers aren't available those first couple games. But yeah, like
Yep.
again, it's tough because guys aren't being game planned for. You really just got to see how they move.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like a 5th-round receiver. This is the guy that led the Big Ten in receptions last year, which
And
the Big Ten had
Big
some
Ten's
dudes.
got some get some defense playing in the Big Ten, so
Yeah.
that's good to see. Another guy I wouldn't say surprised, but surprised at the offensive scheme that was played is Tyler Warren.
Mhm.
Tyler Warren had a pretty good debut
Yeah.
for his first game in the NFL, and it was just good to see that the Colts started opening up their playbook a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've always been a very run-heavy team, 12 personnel, sometimes 13 personnel type of team, where they're very, very run-heavy with multiple tight ends in the game. And, they're going to feed Jonathan Taylor 30 times. But it was good to see them open up the playbook, get their tight ends involved in the game. They have a lot and have a lot of good ones. Tyler is going to be a very good weapon for them. He's listed as the number 1 tight end right now on the roster or on the depth chart. So it'll be interesting how they use him. They love tight ends in their offensive system. Shane Steichen is a very, very big tight end pusher.
I love
and
him.
They got
Just as a play caller, I love him.
Yeah, so
I
it'll be
think
good to see.
Trevion Henderson, running back, New England Patriots. He had 1 carry for 18 yards, and he returned the opening kick
For a touchdown.
for a touchdown. It just shows his level of explosiveness. I mean, the Patriots for the past several years have just really lacked guys that you can just give the ball to and they make something shake on their own. Trevion can do that. They drafted Kyle Williams, who I'm excited to see for them. They finally got some speed, and yeah, I'm excited to see Trevion. He popped off the screen right away.
You know what was interesting for me to hear from Josh McDaniels was that he stated that Trevion might be the most explosive or quickest back he's coached. So, I heard a little thing about him say that, or one of the clips he had. I mean, like that. I'm not saying he is. He's one of the quickest back he's coached. I don't think he is, but they said he is. So I was like, man, that is. I mean, that's just interesting to see that a coach would say that, and he's coached a lot of players. So
yeah, I get it. I'm just thinking of the backs he's had when he was in.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of for him to say that was like, this man must be explosive.
I'm not. No. I'm not saying they aren't good players. But when you think of the backs that he's had, you don't think of any of them as explosive. So in New England, James White, Rex Burkhead, Stephen Ridley.
Who do you have for the Raiders? I mean,
He had Josh Jacobs, but do we think Josh Jacobs?
I don't think he's more explosive. No.
Yeah. When he was the head coach in Denver, no Sean Moreno.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
So
that he said that now.
I don't think it's outlandish for him to be like, yeah, Trevion Henderson is the most explosive backup, or one of the most. With all due respect to those players, I'm just saying, Trevion can move.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anybody else that stuck out?
I mean, I guess there was a lot of young guys that played, but I want to see more of Ashton Jeanty. Everybody tried to give him. I mean, he got 3 rushes.
And they didn't block. They didn't
block a soul. So, bro was getting hit. Look, the thing is, he made the first man miss in the backfield. So, you can't be a judge of that. But I want to see more of Ashton Jeanty. So, not that I didn't he had a crazy bad first game, but I just want to see more of him. I think he'll be a good player. So, I want to see more.
Any teams that stuck out to you, good or bad?
Bad. Miami. They played the Bears. The Bears had, I think, 6 sacks that game. I mean, granted, like you said, it's 2s and 3s playing, but those are depth guys that you will need throughout a 17, 18 game season, depending on if you're making the playoffs or not. Mm-hmm. So, that's depth you need. And giving up 6 sacks in your opening debut does not look good for an offensive staff to watch film and just really depict how do we get better from that.
Yeah. For me, it's Green Bay, and that's because they played their first team offense. Jordan Love went 1 for 5, and there was still drops. Like they were one of the league leaders in drops last season as a team. And the team that stuck out to me was the Bengals. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase suited up. Joe Burrow went 9 for 10, 2 TDs. Like when you put your first team offense out there for the preseason, that's how you expect it to look. Like they should go out there and even if it's not like they're airing the ball out, the operation should look smooth.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to go out there and your quarterback gets sacked and hit. Like everything, it should be boom, 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 boom. Let's get out of here. Completion percentage high, the whole 9. So the fact that Jordan Love in the first team offense did not score, and he went 1 for 5, it's concerning. Not that I think it's necessarily on Jordan, but there's been so much talk about the receiver room of Green Bay. You just want to see something out of that group, a spark of some sorts before you get into the season.
Before we move on, though, I do want to swing back to the Bengals. Kudos to Zach Taylor, because he stated that the past 2 to 3 years, the team has always came out flat in their first regular season game. And he made a switch this year to start those starters in the preseason because he thinks this might give them just a better foundation moving forward going in the regular season. And that was shown in that first preseason game. Jamar Chase looked fresh. Joe Burrow looked fresh. Like, I'm not sure how much they'll play these next couple preseason games, but I think that was a beautiful start to see. Hopefully it transitioned over to the regular season.
Yeah, I think he's on the money in that assessment, and people that have watched the Bengals have agreed. I mean, you go over the last 3 seasons, their week 1 game, and a couple of years they started 0-2 to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
But last year, week 1, they lost to the Patriots, who did not make the postseason. They were down by 2 scores multiple times in that game. The year before, in 2023, they lost to the Browns week 1. I don't think Joe Burrow even threw for 100 yards that game. The year before, they lost an overtime game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game in which Joe Burrow threw 4 interceptions. Now, that offseason, Joe Burrow had an injury. I think it was back-to-back off seasons where Joe had an injury, so even if he wanted to play in the preseason, probably couldn't. He had like the hernia or like an appendix surgery one year. Then the other year, he had like a calf strain where he strained his calf. But this year, yeah, if they're healthy, go out there and play.
Yeah.
My rule, especially with QBs, if I were a head coach, and Joe is now in his second contract, but if you are a quarterback and you have not reached your second contract yet, you should play in the preseason. Like it bothered me that Michael Penix did not play in preseason game 1.
I just didn't. I don't understand. Second year, like even with Caleb Williams, I understand Ben Johnson's take of we got more reps. You got to play new offense. You got to play.
Play, bro.
You got to play.
Play.
What they're playing this next game, but I mean, you got to play.
I don't care. Like as many reps as you can. So JJ suited up for my team, the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm happy he suited up. He got a drive in. They scored. They kicked the field goal. But if Shador's playing 3 quarters, why is JJ not at least playing like a quarter? Like this is a guy who is going to be your starter. And I totally understand. Like you don't want him getting injured. I get it. But if there's ever a point where it's like, hey, JJ, we don't want you getting hurt. If anybody comes around you, just fall to the ground. But even getting in the huddle, going through the operation, getting to the line of scrimmage, and making sure like you're getting the run call correct, making sure that if they do give you a certain look, you know what to check to. Those small things that can you do it in practice? Sure, but doing it in the stadium, you got the headset on, like it's totally different. And for these young guys, I don't want to just see them play a series or not play at all. Like let them get 2-3 drives in at the least. Like that'll take up at least half a quarter. Like just as many reps as possible until they've earned that second contract. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a boomer, but as a kid, I remember seeing Tom Brady play in the preseason when he had 3 Super Bowl rings already. Patrick Mahomes suited up.
Yeah, he plays every preseason.
Every
preseason he plays.
And for many people, this is the best quarterback in the league. If the consensus for a lot of people, best quarterback in the league is playing in the preseason, a quarterback in his first contract should play in the preseason.
And they took a week away, so it's not like we're going 4 weeks.
Right. Yeah. But already then let's.
Let's get to the next big one.
Yeah. Talk of the town. Micah Parsons. We still got a couple holdouts. 2 players that are vital to their teams and their success. Terry McLaurin, receiver for the Washington Commanders, is holding out. He wants a new contract. He feels as if he's outplayed his current contract. And then you've got Micah Parsons, who is still on his rookie deal, is holding out as well, looking for a new deal for himself. I want to hear your thoughts on these two players holding out before I get mine.
I'm going to start to Micah. Mine with Micah is quick and easy, really. I ain't going to lie to you. Jerry Jones paid a man. Paid a man. The only thing I say is interesting was I saw a clip of ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, said the Dallas Cowboys have restructured Dak's contract 5 times. And that's restructure. Well, I think most of it was signing bonus, moved to signing bonus.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was $82 million in restructures. So, I mean, if I was Dak, I would have took it too. You take $60 million a year. I mean, why would I deny it? But like we said earlier, I think it was Jerry Jones overestimated the market at that time, where you could have had cap space back. Now you got to find a way to pay Micah Parsons, arguably the best player on the field at all times.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find a way to pay him, and you need to pay him.
Most games, he's the best player on the field.
Most games he is the best player on the field. So you got to find a way to pay him. That's the bottom line. Find it, get it done, or he won't be on your team. Get it done. Now Terry McLaurin's a kind of a different story for me. If people didn't know, Terry McLaurin's 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He finally has a solid quarterback that's going to be there for essentially the rest of his career. But he wants money that a 25-year-old, 26-year-old player is getting in the league. And that's where I think the gap is right now with the Commanders. Because if you give him a long-term deal for 3 to 4 years, how do you know he's going to be that good in the next 3 to 4 years? So I think they're like, it's the length of the contract that's messing him up for that amount of money because he's already 29 years old. So he just got caught with a bad stick where he was a bad quarterback for so long that he wasn't able to get the stats he is now with a good quarterback, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like, I wish this had happened 2-ish to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now on the contracts.
So let me just start by saying I think both should be paid. What I'm about to say is not saying that one of them should not be paid. I think both should be paid. One, because they're both great players. Both are vital to their team's success, as I said before. I feel differently about players that hold out that have already gotten like another deal as opposed to guys who are still in their rookie deal who have outperformed their rookie deal. So, for example, Micah Parsons did not have an opportunity to negotiate the current deal that he's on. Because of the CBA, the last collective bargaining agreement where he was drafted for that year based on the money that is allotted to rookies, him getting picked at pick 12 or whatever it was, he had no say in that. But since he has outperformed this deal that he had no say in, I have no issues with him holding out. As for Terry McLaurin, I feel slightly different because he got an extension. I'm not going to say prematurely, but the Washington organization realized early, like, hey, this is a guy that we foresee being a part of our franchise in the future. Let's give him an extension. And he chose to sign that deal. I see why an organization would be like, look, bro, this is what you wanted. We gave it to you. Finish out your contract. Again, pay both because you need both. As for Micah, another thing that I feel about the rookie deal is I don't believe the 5th-year option was intended to hold players hostage. The 5th-year option, I hear you. The 5th-year option, in my opinion, was, hey, we're kind of iffy on a player that we took in the first round. We're not 100% sure if we want to give him that big deal yet. We need 1 more year out of you to see, for a la Michael Pitts, right? When it comes to Micah and his draft class, of the top 12 picks, everybody else except for these 3 players have gotten second deals: Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kyle Pitts. Everybody else has gotten...
Technically, Justin did get another deal. It wasn't like a crate, like it.
But I'm saying like top of market.
Yeah, top of market type pick. I'm going to say, yeah.
For their
that's what I'm saying, though. He still got a deal. That's crazy. Like, he got a deal.
But
he hasn't got a deal yet. Micah ain't got a deal. It's just bad.
Trevor Lawrence has gotten a second deal. Penei Sewell has gotten a second deal. Devontae Smith has gotten a second deal. Jalen Waddle has gotten a second deal. Jamar Chase has gotten a second deal. Everybody else within those first 12 picks has gotten a second deal besides Micah. And he's the best player out of all of them. which is kind of crazy because you got Panay, Jamar,
Jamar,
Jalen,
yeah, arguably,
Devontae.
yeah,
You know what I
arguably,
mean?
but yes, yeah.
So I don't. It's so baffling. I understand the Cowboys could have done a better job in like handling their cap situation and when and where they gave people money, but this is just a player where you have to find a way
Yeah,
to pay him.
you can't. You have to. He can't be out. Like you have to play him.
You
You
have
need. You
to play
need
him.
him. You need him to win football games. Like legit, you need him to win football games.
As we talked about earlier, defense is the great equalizer. This is a guy that can single-handedly win football games because he's that great of a defensive player.
Which is the crazy thing, bro. You get a sack a game as a defensive end. You the greatest since sliced bread.
Right.
You the greatest thing since sliced bread. And he can probably do that.
Like, this is a guy that, when healthy, has been an all-pro player every single year. How many people can you say that you drafted have done that?
Yeah.
Any team.
Crazy.
But yeah,
crazy.
As for Terry, though, I hope they pay him because you do have a window. Like, you were just a game away from the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of him, who do you have offensively?
Just hope not. They're dope. Fans, don't y'all dare say that one name that I want y'all to say. Don't say it. I think you're going to say. Don't say it. You got Terry McLaurin. That's it. That receiver.
You don't have a running back that can take it to the house. You don't have another receiver that can just take it to the house. Zach Ertz, who's still a good player. He's not a tight end that you give him a 15-yard dig, he's going to take it 30 to the crib after that.
Mm-hmm.
Terry's the only person offensively as it stands today where Jaden can go like this, catch a snap, throw a now screen, and they take it to the crib. When you have players like that, you have to
I will
keep
say
them.
Debo can do that. But other than that, he can't.
You think as of today, if you were to throw Debo a now screen or a bubble, he's taking it 50?
If he could do something, that's about all he could do.
Okay, fair enough. But all right, let's roll through some of these injuries real quick before we wrap up training camp. We've got real quick. Trey Hendrickson, Shamar Stewart are finally back at practice for the Bengals.
Well, Trey's back.
Well,
is he not holding in too?
He's holding in, but he's back at the facility.
He's back at the facility. Yeah.
Shamar Stewart, they gave him basically like $500,000 more, and he kind of
$500,000, and you're not signing your whatever. Yeah.
And he conceded.
If you get in trouble, you're not getting paid. Yeah. That's simple as that.
And he conceded, but hopefully they can get the trade deal done. Good that they have Shamar back. I saw that he was running with the one defense, of course, because why wouldn't he be? Again, this is one of those teams where if the defense is just half decent, they're right in the mix.
Playoff worthy.
But yeah, so we got a handful of injuries in the current state that I live in. Jordan Love, quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, he had thumb surgery on his non-throwing hand. They say he's expected to be ready to go start of the season. Rashawn Slater, who's probably the biggest injury news, he just signed a contract, which is absolutely devastating. Tore the patella tendon in his knee. He's out for the season. Then Wally, rookie cornerback for the Colts.
Man, that one hurts.
Third rounder. He was battling.
Slated to start, man.
Yeah, he was
Granted,
battling.
Jalen Jones was out, but I mean, with the injury from their other corner, gave him opportunity to start, and he was playing well, and injury just got him, man. That sucks.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson has a knee injury. Did they ever really?
I think it's ACL.
No, they said the ACL is still intact.
Oh, maybe I was wrong then, so.
But he has a knee injury. I'm not 100% sure because it kind of fell during the course of the games. But also in your state, Anthony Richardson has a pinky.
He dislocated his pinky, I believe, but he's back at practice now.
Yeah, because he don't know
how to read a hot, but it's all right. He gonna get it right. He's actually been playing pretty well. So in practice, he's been doing pretty well. But we got to translate over to a game, so he's gonna do it.
Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle for the Cowboys, he's out 4 to 6 weeks. He had a fractured bone in his knee. He should be back early on in the season. And then as of today, Shedeur Sanders has an oblique strain. I think he was held out of practice for precautionary reasons. If you're the Browns, what in the world? First off, you have two quarterbacks that have hamstring pulls, and then you've got a quarterback with an oblique injury.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what they do, they just can't get right.
No, they gotta get something going over there because you only got Joe Flacco for so long.
But I would say, I mean, of those injuries, losing Rashawn Slater,
that was the big one.
Now, granted, they have Joe Alt, who was their first round draft pick out of Notre Dame last year.
And all of a sudden, he's moving from right tackle now. I think.
Yeah, they're moving.
Jim said he's going to move him to left tackle.
Yeah, they're moving him to left. So very few teams are that fortunate to where it's like, hey, we have 2 bookend tackles. In a pinch, we can move one over. But still, though, like the Chargers were one of those teams where people felt as if they could really like challenge Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to challenge Kansas City, you need all your players. Now they have Trey Pipkins, who's been with the Chargers for a while. Now he's a Sioux Falls guy. He was a third rounder out of Sioux Falls a handful of years back. He started at both right guard and right tackle for the Chargers through the years. He's going to go from right guard, start at right tackle. So like he should be able to hold down the fort on the right side, but still just a gut punch for a guy that, just signed a new deal. But prayers to all of them, speedy recoveries. Hopefully, these teams aren't too hampered by the injuries. But let's move into a topic that we've been kind of waiting for some time.
Dying for it. I got some fans that's been telling me, man, when y'all going to talk about this? When y'all going to be talking about that?
Right.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
So you want to take it? Go ahead.
All right, I'll take it over.
Yeah.
We own the college football, boys. We own the college football.
Because it's football season.
Look, football season is here.
High school, college, pros. My little brother's football, he's 12. His season is starting up.
But say first games, middle school first games this week. Like, we got it. We're active. Look. Defense. We had the cheerleaders, everything. Let's get cracking. Let's get it going. You love it. College football. But first, I want to cover this AP poll. It has dropped. We are here, and let's talk about it. Let's get going. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'm going to go about the first 10, so far and so forth, and we can go from there. But at number 1, we got Texas. Arch Manning is getting his debut as a starting quarterback for University of Texas. That number 1. Yeah. Number 2, we got Penn State. Let's see if James Franklin can do something with them. Man, hey, it is their time. It is. Look, they brought back a lot of guys. We got to do something with this team here. Penn State.
Yeah.
I want you to hold it because I know you got something to say. I want you to hold it. Number 3, Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, reigning champions. They are national champions. They're back at number 3. So they fell a little bit, but hey, we got them at number 3. Number 4, Clemson. Cade Klubnik. Am I saying that right?
Klubnik.
Cade Klubnik, back at starting quarterback. He is back in there. Georgia, look, it's about them dogs. They're going to get there. Notre Dame, losing their starting quarterback, but they are at number 6. Number 7, Oregon, lost a couple weapons here and there, but Dan Lanning is still their head coach.
Dan Lanning, yeah.
Dan Lanning
is Dan Lanning. They'll be all right.
He is still their head coach. Alabama at number 8. I'm interested to see how they transition with their new quarterback. I know this isn't this the quarterback that the coach wanted? So like, it's not something that he felt Nick Saban kind of passed on. This is the guy that
he is a Saban. He's a Saban
recruit. Okay.
Yeah, he is. He'll be a redshirt sophomore or junior this year. He's a vet. Yeah.
Okay. Got you. Then 9, we got LSU, and 10, Miami. Miami is interesting because my guy can't think of it. Carson Beck is the guy over in Miami.
He's the quarterback, yeah.
Is the quarterback over in Miami. But that's the top 10. We can talk about the ones down below, but I just want to get that top 10.
Yeah.
You got something to say that I went over one of them teams. What you got for me?
If Penn State doesn't do it this year, I don't think it'll ever happen.
James Franklin, you got to win a big game.
This has got to be the year.
You got to win a big game, and this is the time to do it.
Most of them, for this reason. Drew Aller is the best quarterback he's had. I know his last 2 quarterbacks have been drafted, Sean Clifford and Trace McSorley. But Drew Aller is a guy that legitimately can be a first-round draft pick. You have a ton of returning starters. I know you lost Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren. You've lost a couple offensive linemen, but you have both your running backs back.
That 2-headed monster. Oh, my God.
They went out and got guys out of the transfer portal to revamp that receiver room. Like, this has got to be the year. And we'll do some, I'm assuming we'll do some predictions at the end of this, but my biggest indicator as far as the teams that I'm banking on are head coaches that are returning with their starting QBs. And how many of these head coaches can say they've got their starting QB back from a year ago? James Franklin not only has his starting QB, but he has a starting QB who 365 days from now more than likely will be a starting QB in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you've got to...
a lottery pick. He will be most
Yeah.
likely. Most
Like
likely.
you got to take advantage of that. But
Yeah.
what do you think about Texas being one? How much of this do you think has to do with Arch?
Oh, for sure. I was just about to say that. It's because Arch Mann is the starting quarterback. But
What percentage of that? You think it's solely because it's
no,
Arch or
no. Steve Sarkisian is Steve Sarkisian. Like he
yeah,
is a great head coach.
he's been a really good recruiter for them too.
Yeah, and got him some good players. They've been people are transferring and they're top of the market, he's usually got somebody coming in at Texas. And
Yeah.
I think Arch just being there, seeing how Quinn Ewers did it, I think the time he's been there has gotten him in the shoes he needs to be in to be the starting quarterback at a university like Texas.
Yeah.
So I think it was. I'm not gonna say it's the. How do I say it? I don't know if I'm gonna say it's well deserved, but I could see why they picked him at 1.
If you're Ohio State, are you pissed?
Oh yeah, I don't. They lost a QB, but yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
I wouldn't. They didn't just lose a QB.
They lost a handful of guys.
They did lose Will Howard. They lost Quinshon Judkins and
Both
Travion
their
Henderson,
ends, both their
Emeka
defensive
Egbuka,
ends. Emeka Egbuka,
Jack Sawyer.
They still got Caleb Downs.
They lost Donovan Jackson, who ended up playing left tackle for them, but will play left guard for the Vikings. Josh Simmons, who they lost early on in the season, but he's going to be the starting left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Like they lost a lot of guys, but I do think the biggest factor for them is it Julian Sand that's going to be their starter?
I don't know. I don't think they've decided who the QB1 is yet. That's what I think they're why they weren't ranked at 1 or 2, because I don't believe anyone knows who the starting quarterback will be when they roll out on game 1 versus Texas.
Yeah. They're at the Horseshoe, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, eyes glued to the TV for that one.
Bro, I think they said it's first time in history that a 1 and 2 seed play week 1. 1 and 3 seed or whatever it is.
Them being ranked that high. Period.
Week 1 is crazy. So
I think Arch will be successful this season and beyond. But if he goes in there and he hoops, I'm 1,000% bought in.
Oh yeah, dude, he's got the frame, he's got the height, he's got the name, he's got he's got the intangibles to be a dude.
I'm a believer, but I'm saying if you can go into Ohio State,
yeah,
I'm not saying they don't have to win, but if he goes in there and he plays well, his first real game as a starter, and yeah. I'm not a Heisman believer. I'm not going to go that far.
No.
But if he goes in there and hoops in the Horseshoe against Ohio State in that environment, I'll be a believer. I'll be.
Now the other side, how do you stop that boy Jeremiah Smith? I don't know, but
bracket.
but nevertheless, that's that first week of game.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame and both Ohio State, oddly enough, the two teams that were in the Natty are the teams that really aren't being talked about enough.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you've got two really good head coaches. I'm a believer in Marcus Freeman. And as for Ryan Day, his only losses have come to Alabama, Michigan. Is that it?
Yeah, he's won a lot of good games. He's won a lot of games. I want to say, I'm not sure if that's it or not, but he's won
Clemson with Trevor Lawrence and those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only lost to teams that were his rival, college football playoff, semifinals, national champs. He doesn't really lose. And Marcus Freeman, not that Notre Dame was fledgling beforehand, but he got them to the Natty when many people didn't expect it. So no, I'm a full blown believer. As far as some of the sleeper teams, who do you have that are some sleepers?
Sleeper. Illinois. They're sleeper, but they're at 12, which is crazy. I think there are some believers in Illinois right now. Getting Luke Altmaier back, and I can't think of the head coach name right now. Why am I blanking? But it's all good.
Bielema.
Yes, Brett Bielema, yes. So I think they are a team that is dangerous. Big Ten's a tough conference to play in already, but you don't want to be at Ohio State catching Illinois and falling short.
Yeah.
That's a team you don't want to go in and be just playing around with, because they going to bring some heat. So I think they're gonna be a good team. I think they can make the playoffs. It's gonna be tough out of the Big Ten. Tough. Like
Hmm.
you got teams like Ohio State, Penn State, who we think should win it all. Penn State, believable, but
Oregon,
Oregon, like it's some tough teams out of there.
which is weird. It still doesn't feel right
Yeah,
saying
but
Oregon in the Big Ten.
man, Illinois can be a team that can do some damage if they catch them at the right time. They say any given Sunday, but any given Saturday, teams can be
My
beat.
my sleeper team is SMU. They were in the playoff last year. I know they ran up on Penn State and it was cold up there and things didn't go right. But I love their quarterback, Kevin. I rock with Kevin heavy.
Like they're at 16.
Yeah, they're at 16. They're in the ACC. They're more than likely going to be in the ACC championship game. Like, who knows what FSU is going to be? I think Clemson wins it, but they took Clemson down to the wire. I mean, they came back. They were down quite a bit early on, but no, I like Kevin, their quarterback, quite a bit. Head coach is returning. I don't see why they don't go 11-1, 12-1,
Yeah.
and don't make it into the college football playoff. If they can get a home game, or even if they just played eventually like a neutral site, that's a team where their quarterback is going into his second year as a full-time starter. His freshman year, he played quite a bit as well. Like, he's got a lot of snaps under his belt. There's going to be even, like more on his plate going into the season. I'm a full believer in him, and yeah, I think teams should not sleep on SMU.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I spoke on Illinois. Like I think they're going to be this year's Indiana. But now that I say that, how do you think Indiana falls? They're at 20 right now with Kurt Cignetti is in his second year there.
I haven't looked at their schedule yet, but their quarterback Mendoza
Yeah,
just transferred from Cal. He's legit. I like him. And Cignetti is part of that Saban Bama tree. Those dudes just have a different culture. And I feel as if he just really instills confidence in a lot of guys. He seems like a very feisty head coach. He seems like somebody I would have loved to have played for. And I think they're going to see that ranking at 20.
mm-hmm.
He's going to let them know that they were ranked at 20 and they're going to come out and play. I just think like you lose Rurik, your quarterback, to the NFL.
Lose a lot of seniors too that came over from James Madison.
They were pretty senior heavy. I just think
it's gonna be tough in the Big Ten.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made a playoff push. I just think with the Big Ten this season, it's just going to be. It's one thing when you're the underdog and people are underestimating you. It's another thing where people are now like really locked in on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're going to be able to just like surprise people this time around. So,
and I'm with you on that one. It's going to be tough. I had one of my close friends, Jake Brown, played at James Madison with Cignetti, and he had just mentioned how like that's the head coach you want to play for. Mm-hmm. So I think people will look at them like you said now that like a team that you have to actually sit down, watch film. Mm-hmm. We have to find a way to beat them rather than we're just going to beat them off the muscle, which it just wasn't going to happen like that last year. But now this is very, very be strategic on how you play Indiana. But other than, go ahead. You got something else to say?
No, you're good.
Oh, no, I was just going on. We talked about some teams. Let's talk about a few players. I know we talked about the big names like Arch Manning, a little bit of Jeremiah Smith. What's the players you're looking forward to seeing this year playing?
I've mentioned him to you guys. This is the first time me talking about him on the pod. This is my favorite QB in the country right now. Mm-hmm. John Mateer from the University of Oklahoma. He transferred from Washington State, is a hooper. Like I need people, like once you get done watching, please go watch John Mateer's tape from Washington State last year. If he really gets coached up, because the tools are there, like, he can make every throw. He's like the motion is fluid, it's quick, and he's got legitimate wheels. There's some plays last year he made with his legs, like 3rd and 20, where he outruns everybody. He breaks some tackles, you name it. Like he's the total package. I don't necessarily know, like Oklahoma's in the SEC now, how they'll do as a team, but Oklahoma is ranked 18 in the AP poll currently, and I think it has a lot to do with how people view John Mateer. That is my dude. Like if I were a team, there's going to be tons of QBs coming out next year. We talked about Drew Aller. Garrett Nussmeier is going to be coming out next year as well.
I can't think of the guy from Arizona State, but yeah.
Sam Levitt. I like him. I think he's a good player.
People are talking big about him.
I go watch John Mateer, and people will be like, okay, I see it. John Mateer is like the nation's best kept secret because he played at Washington State and they were in the Pac-12 last year, despite there only being like 2 teams in the conference. So they had to reconfigure their schedule and played quite a few games that weren't like prime time. He's legit. And if I had a 1st round pick next year and I needed a quarterback, he's a guy that I'd be banging the table for. John Mateer's my dude.
Feel it. I'm gonna go freshman route. Stay quarterback. Bryce Underwood for my girl would say the team up north, but
From Michigan?
from Michigan. Like Michigan already was they had a solid defense. They lost a couple guys in the interior.
Will Johnson as well.
Yeah, they lost a couple guys, but I mean they could be tough to beat at times because they always had good running back. They always had a good front seven, both sides of the ball. But him switching from LSU over to Michigan, I feel like just puts like an extra little something on top of the team right now.
Yeah,
I think they got some confidence. So like I feel like how he's going to shake out being undoubtedly day one starter as a freshman. So it's going to be interesting.
I'd be curious to see what perimeter weapons they have in Michigan. I know like they've had some guys that have gotten drafted over the years. Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson was drafted. They had another slot receiver that had been drafted the last few years, but you don't necessarily game plan for those guys when you're getting ready for Michigan's offense. Yeah. It's like, who are these linemen? Who are these running backs? So, but I've seen clips of him throwing the ball, and like as a trained eye and somebody that's spent countless hours trying to perfect his craft, watching others perfect their craft, watching just, quarterbacks, it comes out different.
Yeah.
And
wouldn't be huge. He's big. 6 whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan really had to change that offense for him because he's talented for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to go to look, people were mad. I'm going to say people were mad that they weren't ranked. I wouldn't say they needed to be ranked. But we're going to go the Colorado route. It's a quarterback battle down there or out west in Caden Slater and Julian Lewis. Who's going to win that? I don't know.
I'm going Caden. Yeah,
Caden Slater's going to win it. In my eyes, Caden Slater's going to win it. He has experience. He's going to win a quarterback battle. But how do we see them shaking out in the Big 12?
I mean, you've got Arizona State, you've got BYU, you've got Baylor with Sire Robertson at quarterback. Outside of that, the Big 12 feels relatively wide open.
Yeah.
For Coach Sanders, this was the right time to go to the Big 12. You no longer have to face OU or Texas. Now, I think there's like some sleeper teams, Houston, UCF. When you're now a Power 4, Power 5 school that doesn't have to leave your state to recruit guys, you can end up picking up quite a few dudes. UCF doesn't have to leave Florida to go recruit. Houston doesn't have to, leave Houston for talent. So with Big 12 resources and whatnot, I would watch out for them. But as it stands today, as much as I would love for Coach Sanders to win the Big 12 and, continue to be successful, I don't see that being plausible because you had a legitimate Heisman winner in Travis Hunter. You had an NFL quarterback in your son in Shedeur. You had Jimmy Horn, LeJontay Wester, guys that have a great chance of making NFL rosters. So 2 other NFL receivers, and you guys won 9 games a year ago with those guys. I'm not 100% sure how well they've done in trying to revamp their old O-line and D-line.
And that's the thing in terms of, Coach Sanders has always been big on the portal. He's a portal coach. So he's going to recruit through there. So it's interesting how they're going to recoup all the guys they had lost to the league. So, and there's a lot of talent that went to that league. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you always got to talk about Colorado. They're a big name right now. Yeah. I always want to talk about Coach Sanders, so you gotta talk about him a little bit.
Got to.
But other than that, I mean, any other teams that you want to touch on real quick and talk about that for college football?
I mean, what are your do you have an early natty prediction?
Penn State. But they go my Penn State versus who? Penn State versus. Let me look at my list again. Penn State versus. Honestly, if they get caught right, it might be Penn State, Ohio State. Honestly, to be honest with you.
I'm going.
if it's all right, it might be Penn State, Ohio State.
I'm going Penn State and Clemson for reasons I mentioned earlier. Quarterback, head coach, Cade Klubnik. I know I just spoke glowingly of John Mateer, but I think Cade Klubnik is the best quarterback in the country today. Cade Klubnik can make every throw. And I know a lot of people talked about how this year was like his coming out year. Last year, he accounted for nearly 40 touchdowns. I don't know how much more coming out he would have to do. But I think Cade Klubnik gives you a level of mobility that a guy like Garrett Nussmeier doesn't necessarily have. I think Garrett Nussmeier is the best passer in the country.
Bless you, yeah.
He kind of lacks some of the more physical tools you'd want. Truthfully, he's more like that Joe Burrow mold. even though Joe still has like more wheels than Garrett does. But in terms of like passing, it's like teach tape in terms of mechanics and whatnot. But I think Cade's the best quarterback in the country. You obviously have Dabo Swinney, who's a multi-time national champion. They've got a ton of starters returning. Same thing with Penn State. I think Drew Allard is top 3 quarterback in the country. I have a hard time seeing with the 2 pairings of head coach and quarterback that those teams don't end up in the Natty some way, somehow.
Yeah, and I was thinking to go SEC, like as usual. SEC usually finds their way somehow to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not confident in the Georgia. I forgot the quarterback, but I'm not confident in him
Gunnar
right now.
Stockton.
Yes, I'm not confident in Georgia's quarterback situation. But SEC's SEC, and they play good football, and it's gonna be good football played down there. So
I mean, it wasn't 2 SEC teams last year. It was an independent and a Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the semis, it was 2 Big Ten schools, an independent, and was it Texas that was in the semis?
Yes.
Okay, so you did have an SEC school. Gotcha. A pseudo SEC school in Texas.
Yeah.
It's still weird saying they're in the SEC and not the Big 12.
But nevertheless, that's like college football in a nutshell, really, just to start off with. I mean, it's going to be some interesting teams that pop up. You're never going to have your Cinderella story type teams that make their way up the rankings somehow, some way. But we didn't even talk about our guy from Kansas State.
Who, Avery Johnson?
Avery Johnson.
Another good player. Hey, I like Avery.
Hey,
but I'm telling y'all, like, people, please, John Mateer. Like, just JOHNMATEER. Look him up. When I say he's a hooper, he is a hooper. Look my boy up, John Mateer. You'll be in for a treat. That's I'm banging on the table for bro. Like, John Mateer's that dude.
Let's just say, hey, we're gonna keep him all accountable if he don't hoop this year.
Please.
Everybody in the chat, keep him accountable. Keep him accountable if he don't hoop.
If he doesn't hoop, let me know. I'll reevaluate. But from what I saw,
he about to hoop.
He's got it all. All right. Favorite segment.
Munyon alert!
Munyon alert!
Munyon alert! Munyon alert! Munyon alert!
Hey, we were talking off camera. Every training camp, people sign deals. I don't remember a time where it's been this many deals signed during training camp. I'm going to look at our list real quick. I'm counting 9 deals during training camp.
There's a lot of guys being signed, man. And we're behind. We're
not even, because there's deals that we've already talked about. Cortland Sutton, that's 10. TJ Watt, that's 11.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Tom for the Packers.
Yeah, it's been a lot. You can't even go down the list of what dudes have been signed. There's been a lot of guys that have been signed. But
yeah, I mean,
let's just touch on them. We don't got to go too in depth on every signing, but I just want to talk about all the guys. There's a lot of them that's been signed and it's deserving. Most recently, James Cook.
Yeah.
Running back for the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
4 year, $48 million. I think another deal that pushed this deal was the Kyron Williams deal.
Yeah.
Hey,
3 years, 33.
$33 million. Like, it's good to see running backs get paid.
I thought Kyron would have gotten a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with James. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's he's getting 14. I thought they might push 13 or 14.
I think Kyron was I think he was comfortable.
No, I don't disagree. I'm just saying I thought he'd get a little bit more. I think when it comes to James, he's kind of looking at his brother just as like the shelf life of running backs. Mm-hmm. His brother just 2 seasons ago was a starting running back, 1,000-yard rusher, and is now not even on an NFL roster. He's like pseudo-retired. His brother was one of the top running backs in the league, like the blink of an eye, not too long ago. And so it's just like, I saw this happen firsthand with my brother, who went from being a team starting Pro Bowl running back to then being cut and bouncing around to now not even on a roster. So he went to training camp, started holding out, and then now he's got his deal. So, I mean, I'm happy for him. 4 years, $48 million. 4 back. I like it.
Yeah. Hey, it was deserving. He needed to get paid. I think was he holding out for a little bit? I think he was.
Yeah, like
or
a week.
Just like a week or something like that. But he got paid, so that's good to see. Hey, cha-ching!
Yeah.
Then Munyon.
We touched on it earlier. Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle for I keep wanting to say San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers. He signed a 4-year, $114 million extension. This is a guy that I heard about my days at Eastern Illinois. So when I was at Eastern, Adam Cushion was my head coach in 2019. He and majority of our staff came from Northwestern. Adam Cushion was the offensive line coach in Northwestern, and they talked like the stories that they would tell about Rashawn was legendary. And so it's been cool to like kind of follow his career. He's been one of the best left tackles in the league. There's only like a handful of guys that you could say are better than him. Obviously, Trent Williams, Christian Darrisaw, a couple others,
Maybe Wirfs.
Tristan Wirfs, yeah. But outside of like those three, he's right there with the best of them. So 114 mil, 4 years. Also in your state, Bernard Raymond, offensive tackle for the Colts, 4 years, 100 mil. He was like a mid-round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken, and has just really solidified that spot. So kudos to him for getting that done. Another offensive tackle, Colton Miller, first rounder out of UCLA a few years back. I want to say he was a Mike Mayock draft pick, but he hasn't made any Pro Bowls, but he's just been a good starter for them for some time now. I want to say he was first rounder in like 2019.
Yeah.
We touched on Kyrie Williams. Max Sealer, defensive tackle for the Dolphins, 3 years, $67 million extension for him. I think he went to like Ferris State or something. Like I think he's a D2 guy.
No, maybe. I'd have to go fact check. I'm not sure.
Yeah, just give me 1 sec. Let me pull this up. But yeah, I think Sealer's a D2 guy.
No, but I'll mention one more while you're looking it up. But Jake Ferguson, tight end for the Cowboys, 4 years, $52 million. Look, I love one position that I love to see get paid because I think they're like a running back where they don't get as paid as much for as much as they do being a tight end. Mm-hmm. I like seeing tight ends get paid. I think it's much deserving. So
yeah,
I think tight ends deserve it. So him being a forefront of the tight ends in the league, get paid.
Sealer went to Ferris State. Yeah.
So I played against him.
Yeah.
So I played against him.
He's a Ferris State guy. He was a rookie in 2018, so freshman year probably would have seen him. But yeah, he went to Ferris State. He's had back-to-back seasons of 10 sacks as a defensive tackle, which is rare. I'm assuming he's right up there with the best of them in terms of sacks. My team, Josh Metellus, Minnesota Vikings, 3 years, $36 million extension. He was a 6th rounder out of Michigan in 2020, and he's just one of the things that he said, which I liked. He's like, "Am I one of the best safeties in the league?" He's like, "But what you can't deny is I'm one of the best football players in the entire NFL." In 2023, he led the league in snaps. He played safety, linebacker, corner, D-line.
It's funny because I didn't even know he was a safety.
I
thought he was a linebacker. But
really?
I thought he was a linebacker. When I see it say safety, I said,
he
thought he was a linebacker.
So last year in particular, Minnesota had some injuries. Blake Cashman, who was our Mike. Well, we played like 2 inside linebackers. Blake Cashman and Pace. It was like when one was healthy, the other was hurt, and vice versa. And so Josh would fill in and play Sam or Mike some games.
Yeah,
so.
I just thought he was just a smaller linebacker that just had a nose for the football.
He's a safety.
A nose for the ball. I was like, hey, buddy can tackle.
But yeah, for Minnesota, they needed to get that done because we don't know how much longer Harrison's playing. And they lost Cam Bynum. So you got to keep somebody around. Like you basically chose between him and Cam Bynum. You can't let Josh hit free agency. Somebody's going to scoop him up. And he's the perfect fit for Flores' defense. So, but good for him. Real quick on Jake Ferguson. He's from Madison.
Yes, sir.
Of all places, which is where I live currently. So it's dope that a local guy is getting his second contract in the league. University of Wisconsin guy, stayed home, drafted by the Cowboys, and then is hooped whenever he got his opportunity. One more, Cortland Sutton, wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, 4 years, $92 million. 23 a year, I think it averages out to. If you're Denver, similar to Terry McLaurin, you don't really have a ton of leverage in terms of negotiating. You don't really have a proven guy on the perimeter outside of Cortland. And he and Bo showed that they got really good chemistry. So
I like Cortland, man. He's not the most flashiest guy. He don't got the best routes, but boy,
he catches everything.
Put that ball in the air.
He catches everything.
Put that ball in the air, he's going to get it.
He's made a Pro Bowl before. A year later, he tears his ACL. It took him a while to like kind of come back from it. But yeah, now we're seeing him like fully healthy.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I'm happy for him. He was huge for Bo last year. Hopefully, the guys that are already there, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Veely, and then they brought in Pat Bryant, University of Illinois guy who.
Pat Bryant. I like
I've
Pat Bryant.
I've talked about it on the pod. I saw him play live
I like
against.
Pat. Me too.
I saw him play live against my squad, Eastern Illinois, and it was ugly. He does bogus. Pat Bryant was compared to Michael Thomas by Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Sean Payton does not mince his words, nor does he say things he does not believe. The fact that he's comparing him to Michael Thomas, I think, speaks volumes. So,
Pat Bryant could be nice. I wonder if he's a day one starter. I'm not sure if he's going to play that wide receiver 2 position or not.
But they brought in Evan Ingram again, Trey Franklin, Marvin Mims, Veely. Those guys are still developing. Pat Bryant. So hopefully that just takes more coverage away from Courtland Sutton, and they can really get him rolling more than he probably should have been doing in years past.
Yeah. Before we just go on to the next thing, I want to say something that I just seen a clip on about that Sean Payton said. What he calls the Joker. Like, it was cool. It was cool to see. He said a Joker in his eyes is a tight end or running back that can catch pretty well, like receiver-esque. He says essentially you want 2 Jokers on the team to run like his style of offense. And he said pass would be like Jeremy Shockey or a Darren Sproles type guy. And he says he has a Joker in Evan Ingram and a Joker in who's the running back that they just got. It could be, he said he's not there yet, but it could be in RJ Harvey. So
I hope, because I drafted him in fantasy. So
and RJ Harvey. So it is, he said it, he hasn't got his wing yet, but he could be a Joker. So it's just cool, but it's an interesting thing that he said that in his offense, he calls him a Joker, a running back or tight end that can do kind of everything.
Yeah, I don't think people
run, pass,
realize how vital that Evan Ingram role is going to be for Bo Nix in year 2. The Broncos last year, and I'm not saying they weren't good players, but the offense just didn't shape out for them. They had like the lowest receiving yards of like tight end rooms last year. One of they had Adam Troutman, and that was pretty much about it. So bringing in Evan Ingram, we know what Sean Payton does with tight ends. Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham, Juwan Johnson, Taysom Hill. So yeah, I'm excited to see Denver. I'm a Bo Nix guy, so I hope Pat Bryant, Courtland Sutton company, they hoop this year. But
yeah,
all right, yeah, lots of money on passed around this summer.
Got that money and everybody getting paid. I love it. I love to see it. Hopefully the guys that have not get paid yet get paid here soon. But we got through the main topics. Y'all know how we always end the show.
Yes, sir.
The kicker. That's a good kicker today. It's a good kicker today. I love the conspiracy type. It's not even conspiracy, but everybody's gonna question it. Oh, could I do this? Could you do this? What about this? And the one we got today is pretty good. The one we got today was pretty good. Can the average human, I just say as a running back, get 1 yard in the NFL? Why?
1 yard?
Why not? 1 yard. Line them in the backfield. Why? Why not? What are the factors? How do they do it? Let's talk about it.
If they had 1 carry,
it's 1 carry. You got 1 carry to get 1 yard in the NFL.
I'm going to say no, because I just saw Ashton Genty go -1 with 3 carries.
I'm talking 1 carry. You got the rock.
It also depends on who your offensive line is.
I'm not talking about the Eagles. We talking about Carolina. You running behind Carolina and you playing. Let's see, who got an average defense like.
We'll just say the Raiders.
Yeah, you play the average defense.
The average person?
Yeah, the average guy. You know the average size of an average man too. So
it's like 160. No, I don't think it's happening. I think chances if they had again the Eagles or the Bucks offensive lines, maybe, but the average person, even their 40s, is probably 5'7", and you think they're about to
take ISO,
no,
pin and pull, no, you ain't doing that.
Now I think solely because a lot of our friends either played high school or college athletics and are relatively in shape.
I'm getting a yard. I don't care what nobody say. I'm getting
get
more than a yard, but I'm getting a yard. I'm getting more than a yard.
The average person?
No. Yeah,
not happening.
No.
Now, we talked about this off camera. Likelihood of somebody being able to get 5 yards.
And 4 downs.
Oh, 5 and 4?
Yeah.
I'm still going to say no. The average person, no. Because the average person is slow in terms of the NFL.
Well, I wouldn't say 4. I'll say 3 downs and a punt. You got to punt after 3. It's you in the middle of the field. You got 3 downs to get 5 yards. Can they get 5?
Person, no. No.
Sorry, y'all out there. If y'all think I can get 3, I want to see if y'all really can get 5 yards, even a 1 yard. Y'all
They need to bring
see.
back. They need to bring back Pros versus Joes and simulate it.
Just bring, hey, John something.
John Sullivan from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Can you, if we were to grab an offensive line and we just have, I'm just gonna, Devin Lloyd from the Packers as the linebacker on the other side, meet you in the hole. Are you falling forward a yard? No. Devin Lloyd is going to tombstone power drive you. It's not happening.
Look, it don't got to be. It don't got Devin Lloyd. It could be good. It could be damn Devin White.
Chad Muma.
That's what I'm saying.
From the Jags. It's not happening.
Yes.
Are you getting 5 in 3 downs?
As a back?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if they run outside zone.
Outside zone might be my best option. Like, I might not take ISO for the 5, but look, outside zone might be we might be running jet sweep, something crazy. Like you gonna run, we gonna scheme it though. Like if we can scheme it, I can get my 5 yards, bro.
Okay.
We gotta scheme it though. I'm just not taking ISO for 5 yards. Just being realistic. It's just not gonna happen.
First off, I have no desire to even try this out. Like I'm good, bro. Like
just look.
Being tackled is not fun. It's not something that's desirable. I never had a desire to be tackled.
Yeah, bro. Think about people don't get fullbacks aren't used that often in the league right now.
Yeah.
Just think about ISO on a linebacker. Like, dude, what?
Yeah.
They don't even understand how crazy that collision is,
bro. I broke a bone in my hand, my throwing hand, the spring semester of my junior year. So this is like during COVID, where we ran QB power. The guard was supposed to pull. We ran power, not QB power, but power read. So like you read the M-man on line of scrimmage. If he expands, you pull it, follow the guard. If he stays, you hand it to the back. M-man on line of scrimmage expands, I pull it. But it's supposed to, right guard is supposed to pull, do the A, I follow him. He doesn't pull. Backer just like came free, and I went to cover, because you cover with 2 when you're in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Helmet right on the hand. Bow! Broke this bone right here in my hand. And I tell people all the time, when you're hurt, you feel it the next day. When you're injured, you feel it in the moment. Because you have so much adrenaline during the game, like you don't feel a lot of stuff to the next day. Or in the shower when you're like, dang, when did I get this turf burn?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I felt that, and I'm just like, this getting tackle stuff ain't what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm telling you, people don't understand like football until you really get out there.
Mm-hmm.
You get moving, and you be like, these dudes are moving fast. I didn't got Ashley. If everybody knows my fiance Ashley, I think I got her really watching football. She watched the whole quarterback thing recently because she Joe Burrow. She's a Bengals fan or whatever. Bro,
I don't blame her.
Like what she really said, bro. She said, I didn't realize these quarterbacks be getting hit,
blasted.
Like, bro, she was like in the NFL, you see the pass go downfield, you see the dude catch it, you're like, oh, whatever. Little did you know. That same play,
they got
Buddy
blasted.
just got lit up.
Dude, I'll never forget. It was we were playing Manuka our junior year. So it was senior night. There was quite a few plays where I released the ball and I just heard the crowd cheer and I did not see the completion.
Don't even know what happened.
I was on the ground. There was one time, shout out Mitchell Glendy. It was like 3rd down. I threw like a comeback. I get blasted. Like I get rid of the ball. Boom. 3rd down and long. And I just hear people cheering because I guess he broke some tackles or whatever. I didn't see the play until we watched film the next morning.
You got turf all in your mouth. You just like, dang, look.
I tell people all the time when they talk about quarterbacks, they have it easier. They don't really get hit. I said our position is the only one where people talk about defenseless receivers. At least receivers are running. Most of the time, I don't even see this hit coming. Like Anthony Richardson.
Bro.
Granted, that was on him. But this guy had a 15-yard head start to hit a person who's not moving.
Not looking, not bracing, just
nothing. Just get blasted. So I understand quarterbacks don't get hit every play like a running back, but the hits they do take, that's why I really think quarterback is just the mental and intestinal fortitude of a QB is just, it's different. Because, bro, even if a quarterback doesn't get sacked in a game, they got hit hella. Like, you're never going to go through a game where you didn't get blasted 3-4 times. Like, it's not a thing.
And I just like that. What it comes to mind, like that Anthony Richardson hit, is the Justin Fields preseason hit. Like, as a Bears fan, blasted helmet fly off, you just get lit up. I'll be like,
Tom Brady, Bills, his like first year as a starter or whatever, they show it all the time where he's like running towards the sideline, he gets smoked, his helmet flies, and he gets up and like puts it back on. Like, bro, it's Shout out Ash for mentioning that though.
oh yeah, she had to. She watched it. She's like, bro, because
People
she
think-
getting more into football as much as I am. I'm talking about football now.
People be thinking it's sweet out there. It's not.
Ain't sweet when you out there playing football. It's
Yeah.
fun though, but
It's
it
definitely
ain't
fun.
sweet. It ain't sweet. But
All right, we're running a little long, but
no, look, this is a great show. I loved it. It was good to get back in action. Touch on all the topics that we needed to touch on.
and little do y'all know, for those that weren't at the event with us, Kijana and I actually just saw each other 2 weeks ago
Yes, sir.
at our homeboys
Yeah,
at our
you got
homeboys
married.
wedding. Shout out to the Dorseys. Let's clap it up for the Dorseys real quick. I'm being betrothed and getting married and whatnot. Oh, we didn't even clap it up for the money on it. We didn't clap it up for the boys that just got paid. Shout out to the boys that just got paid. But all right, my dog. As always, it's a pleasure. Thank you all for tuning in to episode 11 of The Locker Room. Always follow us on social media. Kijana, can you tell them those handles real quick?
Look, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Locker Room Pod. And then, we always got our Spotify and YouTube channels rocking and rolling. So always give those a listen. If you're on the road driving, got some extra time, listen to us, man. We just like to chop it up.
Subscribe, comment, all of that. Share to your friends, because I'm sure if you're listening, you got some homies that listen to sports. So,
before we really head out, we got our ranking series. We might have another one coming up here soon with a little special guest. So hopefully we can get it rocking and rolling, get him on. So stay tuned. Coming.
Stay tuned. My dog, I'll see you.
Yep. All right.
All right.